How was Medvi, the first single-person billion-dollar business that generated $400 million within the first year of business, able to utilize a pay-per-lead system to scale at a growth rate that should be illegal? And I am Medvi, an autistic seven-figure pay-per-lead agency owner who's also happened to be Chinese, and I'll be able to break down every single thing in the next few minutes so even a 5-year-old can understand it and be able to comprehend how much talent you're wasting by being in a retainer or service-based agency instead of utilizing pay-per-lead systems.
How is it that Medvi generated $400 million within their first year of business with two brothers, able to make Hims and Hers, a company that's listed on the fucking NASDAQ, look like a fucking joke at marketing? I mean, $2.4 billion with 2,000 employees, 2,500 employees versus Medvi, right? That's the power of pay-per-lead systems, obviously attached to a drop shipping infrastructure, because let's be real, Medvi is selling weight loss solutions for $170 on the first month and $300 refills per month, right? Which is quite hefty of an expense for the average American consumer. But they were able to completely outcompete Hims and Hers, right? By a long shot. I mean, stop the video and just take a look at these stats, but it's not even fucking close. And all they do is marketing, right? They do not even fulfill anything. They have the open loop Care Validate. Those are the two telemedicine providers, gigantic companies that handle all of the logistics, right? The backend infrastructure, the delivering of the medicine, right? The fulfillment of the doctors, providing all these services. Medvi doesn't do any of them. Their job is to arbitrage the customer value, right? Getting the customers through the door and getting that juicy profit. And the rest is up to the open loop and Care Validate to handle all of the backend stuff, right? The compliance, the clinicians, the prescribing of the medication. All Medvi does, right, is they're insane at conversion and building up systems to acquire clients. And they do not even run their own ads. They have efficiently outsourced running their ads to 100,000 affiliates. And in this video, I'll break it down exceptionally well, so a 5-year knows what I'm talking about, because let's face it, pay-per-lead is complicated, right? 9 out of 10 companies are listed on the NASDAQ are pay-per-lead companies, and they're not easy to understand. However, right, if you're serious about growing a business to 7, 8, 9 figures in profit over the next 20 years and building a legacy, then this video is for you, right? Because retainer, e-com, churn and burn dropshipping brands is just not going to cut it, not even close. Right? Service-based industries where you charge 2, 3, 4, 5K retainers, that's not going to build you any enterprise value. So today, I'm going to show you pay-per-lead based on the most insane marketing case study the world has ever seen. And specifically, what's really crazy is that they grew to 400 million within their first year of business, and now they're on track to do 2 billion. And what's cool is that they don't run their own ads, right? They do not deal with any of these backend infrastructure logistical problems. Like I said, open loop and Care Validate, they handle everything from A to Z. And the regulatory compliance is also outsourced. The only thing that they do is a lead acquisition engine. They get clients. I'm going to show you exactly how they do it, because the basic underlying infrastructure is they pay $250 to $300 for a fixed client, right? So how that works in depth, we're going to dive into it. None of this dopamine bullshit content, right? All just pure value. And what's interesting is that on the first month, they even make a slight loss because they sell their first month for $170 and they acquire a client from anywhere $250 to $300, right? And the reason they can do that is because the lifetime value of such a client may go into the 2000s. Specifically, they charge less than their competitors on the first month to get the foot into the door for the customer, and then they start hammering them with the $300 refills, which is hefty price actually, right? And here you can see a comparison of the prices with their competitors, so to say. However, they make a loss because their lifetime value of a client can go up to the 2000s, and because of the $300 refill, right? So they're comfortable with paying $250 to $350 for a client. And you might ask yourself, how the fuck they do that? Well, they outsource it to people like us, pay-per-lead guys or marketers that are cracked at running ads, and let me show you how cracked that actually goes. Take a look at this skeleton
5
ad.
days. She just
It's not really a weight loss product because they also do erectile dysfunction. They know that it's a very big pain point and a very big market.
on you. Pharmacy's closed. The last time you tried to just wing it, you both pretended it didn't happen. Then you check your jacket pocket. Quad. Your friend gave it to you months ago. Said it was different. 4 medications in one. You never opened it. Tonight, you do. 10 minutes later, the rideshare pulls up to your house. She's at the door. You look at her the way you haven't in 2 years. She notices immediately.
Tell me that's not the most insane ad you've ever seen.
That night. Again in the morning. Quad by Medvi. All
It shows you even the scientific benefits of how
minutes.
that works.
Lasts 36 hours.
36
Prescribed
hours.
online. Delivered discreetly. Click below to see if you qualify.
Yeah, pretty crazy ad. And if you see like any of these, names like Steve S. Collins, like basic generic names, then there's a killer behind it, because in pay-per-lead, everything is anonymous, right? This is one of the best things about pay-per-lead. It's so anonymous, and the only thing that you need is like media buying skills. You do not need a brand, right? You don't need reviews. You just need to be able to brainwash consumers into clicking a button by having autistically good media buying skills. And if you want to learn something like that, join my Skool community or enter my Telegram group chat, where I have exclusive content about to be built up on how to make these ads like crazy. And what's really insane as well is that some of these ads are basically not even ads, right? They're reviews of the product, the weight loss product, by a fat person. So the fat person that's consuming the product, right, can relate better. So let's have a look.
Zepbound, tirzepatide, and all these names. This one, tirzepatide from Medvi, is specifically for weight loss, and it's far less dramatic than I thought. I mean, first it was all diabetes medication that people used as weight loss, even though they didn't have diabetes. And my fear was that companies basically rebranded it. Like they only put a new sticker on it and shipped it. But thankfully that's not the case. And when I read that it's produced in America by FDA regulated pharmacies, then I knew it was good. So the next step was to find the right provider and to look at prices. I found that other brands take at least $200 per month.
So she's comparing the prices and benefits, which is really crazy. And this seems like a normal product review. And most people in America are AI retarded, so they cannot understand this is AI by the voice distortion. So specifically, they click on it because they think it's a genuine review, and it just, makes them buy, because this is one of the best ads.
And that's still on the low.
I think this specific pay-per-lead agency owner has probably printed over 6 or 7 figures with this specific ad on this product alone, because obviously, right, you can get $200 to $350 per acquired client for Medvi. So basically what we do is we make these ads and we funnel them onto Medvi, right? Their proven landing page. We don't even need to build out the landing page. And what really tracks like that this person came from us is this like long code, right? That's called like an affiliate tracker behind the URL. So all this long code after the .com, or in this case medvi.org, tracks where this customer came from, and when they basically sign up and buy something, you get paid out $250 to $300. And specifically how Medvi is able to centralize like 2,000 affiliates and make like thousands of these crazy freaking ads, even a lot of like static fake coupon discount ads, right? Even like fake doctor ads.
Listen, if insurance denied your weight loss meds, listen carefully.
So this one is tailored to black people, because she has a black actress, and sometimes if you put black people in ads, black people convert better.
Loophole, okay? I work at what's called a 503B outsourced facility in Texas. It's a special type of pharmacy. We make
authority ad by a doctor, so everything that a doctor say must be true, right? And this is like some sci-fi high-tech shit, so must be good.
Appetite every day, and these brands sell them to you, right? So what the brands don't want you to know is that the
Before and after, that's fake, you know, completely crazy, like 2 split screen ad, very, very good format as well, right? And then you got these like crazy statics as well, and super hyper specific ugly ads that sometimes work out as well, because Alex Hormozi runs them, as you would know. And what's really insane, right, is that basically they also lie on these ads, right? It's not just for 149. That's the first month. That's where a lot of this discrepancy comes from, because there are Trustpilot reviews. Obviously, most of it is like positive, but some are saying like, hey, I didn't know there was an upsell. I didn't know it was like for $300 a month because this ad said something different, right? So there's a discrepancy, because we affiliates and pay-per-lead entrepreneurs, we're just trying to like get clients with the most aggressive ads possible, because we're using our own money essentially, right, to basically put our own money on the line to basically get customers for Medvi and then get paid out like a margin. And specifically how Medvi centralizes it is they don't do it themselves. Like imagine managing like 2,000 lead vendors. No. They basically manage that. They outsource that job to aggregators, middlemen, such as Blitz, Meta Ads, AI Max Bounty, one of the biggest ones, right? And here are all the offers on Offer Vault. You can offervault.com. You can check it out yourself, right? 350, 300, 225, 200. And then basically you have all these offers, and we, the pay-per-lead affiliates, work with these middlemen, so to say, to send them these customers, and we get paid out. We're risking our own money, but if we're really autistically good, like me in media buying, right, then you have a really good chance to scale this up in a growing market. Now, that's why there are so many AI fake doctors, before and afters, everything that you could think of to get customers through the door, because we take on the risk and we make a loss if we don't produce the leads at the cost of, you know, that we get paid at. And sometimes we risk our own money and only get paid after like 14 days. That's called net 14 in pay-per-lead, or net 30 sometimes after 30 days. Yes, it's terrible, but not every business model is perfect, right? And specifically, GLP weight loss packages, they have, you know, like 500K patients. They're also selling erectile dysfunction. If you want to check out the most in-depth analysis on the ED page, one of the most, you know, educationally formatted quiz funnel application pages that you have ever seen in your life, then check out my Medvi video. It's like an hour long. By view count, it is the best in-depth analysis on the whole internet. I go really deep into like the psychology and the infrastructure, more so on this video, but specifically, right, Medvi, erectile dysfunction is a proven converting funnel that is basically an educational quiz funnel formatted as a health application. So you fill out a bunch of personalized questions. It educates you on like the different types of benefits that this product has. You can last for 36 hours, 36 hours. Usually it's like 36 minutes. That's already crazy. But I don't know, I'm Chinese, right? If I'm black, it might be different. But quad 4-in-1, you know, all these different colors and statistics and graphs, they're all really good marketing, psychological frameworks to get people to trust you more, to like release more dopamine, right? All of this is built within Lovable and AI. So specifically, that's what drives this, all of this, you know, retention and traffic. And after you fill out like a 15-minute form, you're gonna think you deserve to buy something after that, because you qualify, right? So statistics, quotes, graphs, colors, benefits, contrast, right? They've utilized every single trick in the book, psychological trick in the book, to get you to buy. And then I have more in-depth analysis on another video you can check out. And what's really crazy is that they have this checkout funnel also maximized to the T, and they get you to, they make everything perfect. So you click on the right buttons to buy this stuff, which is kind of expensive as well. And then on the back end, right, they outsource all the fulfillment to Open Loop, Care, Validate, and Triad for all of the difficult, you know, like back-end logistic stuff. And there are a lot of problems associated with that as well, because obviously they have some people that are not like medically qualified, you know, have side effects. So at scale that happens, right? You have lawsuits, FDA warnings, because these like AI doctors are just crazy and they're not really morally correct. But hey, we affiliate paper lead marketers, we need to put food on the table, so we don't have morals before we make profit. Now, specifically, right, all of this, like lawsuits, it's normal for a company that's growing so fast. It's basically impossible to not get them if you have like a company this size. But the post-purchase retention funnel, they also build up, to obviously retain clients, because like I said, all of the money is made on the retention, the $300 reoccurring revenue. So they have a lot of, like welcome portal setup emails, weekly check-ins, milestones, and all of that stuff to keep you engaged, keep you buying their products, right? So this is the whole marketing infrastructure and pay per lead infrastructure that basically Medvi has. And specifically, it is insanely brilliant, because imagine building a $400 million per year company now on track to do $2 billion in revenue, and you don't even run your own ads. You have predictable customers because you can just buy them, and there's an army of affiliates that are getting like paid a decent price, right, per customer. So that just fuels the growth, the pay per lead infrastructure, so to say, that I'm showing you here, right? Where they break even or make a loss on the first order, like pay for this customer, and then on the reoccurring revenue, they just aggressively scale and make bank. And then even upsell them on other erectile dysfunction products, because some fat people have ED problems as well. Now, what's really crazy is that some people are making 6-7 figures profit a month, just supplying this like company. And the best part about this, in pay per lead, you can like not only do this one offer, but also take up other verticals. And if you want to know more about that, I have the most in-depth guide on the whole internet on choosing the right vertical and the right market to pursue pay per lead in. That's a make or break decision, right? If you want more like in-depth or personalized advice, I do consulting as well. So message me on Telegram or Instagram. I'd be open to help you. And what's also crazy is that Medvi specifically, right, I bet like the founder doesn't even know anything about, telemedicine or health. He's just cracked at marketing, elite. And I know like one of the largest, like SMMA retainer influencers, Hunter Seroy, he did, I think, chiropractors, scaled it up to like 250 in revenue, of which only 15% was profit. So very slim margins, like pretty much held in a retainer base, churn and burn business, right? Where clients treat you like your slaves basically, and your Slack is booming every fucking 2 minutes, and you feel like you're working a glorified job instead of actually building a sustainable business that gives you freedom. I haven't had a client meeting in so long that I think about it, because all these corporate companies, they don't do meetings. They send you fucking reports to see if your leads, right, converted into paying customers, if they made money from you, how the return on investment was. And then you can put all of this data into Claude and let it analyze it. So no client meetings, right? And the highest scalability is what pay per lead offers. And obviously, right, you have some other like outlier business model like OFM, OnlyFans management, that yes, you have billionaires paying like models 300 grand because they busted a huge nut, but specifically that's not a sustainable, scalable business model, right? And if you're a serious marketer and you want to build a 7, 8, 9 figure business in the coming next 2 decades, right, then pay per lead might be the strategic transition you need to consider to respect your time and talent, as an autistic media buyer, for instance. But beautiful Claude graph to, reinforce the point that it is essentially scalable how Medvi does it. And also Medvi is it's just an example of how they were a dropshipper utilizing pay per lead infrastructure, and how you can squeeze yourself into such an industry to make bank as well, because you yourself, right, you just need to have like a Meta account and fucking ads, right? And you can hire a Pakistani editor for $500 to make it. Another $500 in software costs. Don't even need a go high level, maybe just Zapier and some adspy.com tools. Adspy.com, Get Hooked, also very nice. And foreplay.co, also good ads research platform. And then obviously you have Facebook ad library. And what's really great is that you kind of have like multiple offers and ads running in insurance, legal, and it's not like starting a business new because everything is the same. It's just good media buying skills. And the fact that this video has like 100 views dictates that it's an unsaturated market. Iman hasn't talked about it, you know, like some of these SMMA gurus haven't touched upon it. So you might be a first mover as well, which is really nice. And the craziest part as well is that these corporate companies, they will not, I had like 2, you know, retainer clients that got scammed collectively out of 6-7 figures in crypto from phishing scams and, you know, like crypto scams, and they couldn't pay me, right? So I was kind of fucked, and I kind of respected that, because if you lose 6 figures, you don't want to pay like a marketer, even though that's not the right thing to do. But hey, life is life. And corporate companies, they have fucking 6-7 figures in marketing budget to like spend, so they don't care about that 30-40 grand test order they send your way. A lot of the things in psychology in test paper lead is they want to try it out for you first, send you 20-30-40 grand first to test it out. They have a budget to burn, right? And then if you provide return on investment with your leads, right, and their call center converts them, calls your leads and converts them into customers, then you get paid 5 to 6 to even in some odd cases 7-figure checks on a monthly basis at a 30-40-50% profit margin, and all of your profit is correlated to, you know, like media buying skills. So be sure to join my school or Telegram, where you can connect with other like-minded paper lead entrepreneurs to level up your skills and even make some friends along the way. Now, what's really cool is that I'm also trying to find, you know, to build up my own info product, some really cracked retainer clients, retainer entrepreneurs who want to transition into paper lead, so I can work with them on a profit share level to build up some case studies to fuel my own info product, right? What I'm going to be doing is being autistically, like honest, because like I cannot even lie biologically because I'm autistic. And what's also crazy is that the retainer model just makes so much sense. I mean, like, yes, my dad won math competitions and I didn't inherit it. So just read it and you can figure out the math yourself. Because like that gene just like, I don't know, maybe I'm like a bastard. Maybe I'm not even my father's son, you know, who knows? And specifically, some of the market's biggest names in marketing, I'm talking about like companies listed on the NASDAQ, of which I've made free in-depth analysis on: NerdWallet, LendingTree, Money Supermarket. Go check it out if you want to be serious about learning more. No dopamine bullshit, just pure value and really raw, high-level business education marketing content. And 2.27 billion a year paper lead companies, in this case pay-per-click. And what's really insane is that the scalability is unheard of in paper lead. And enough saying about paper lead. There are also some like downsides, obviously, to paper lead. You need to have some cash flow, right? Some, you know, industries, you need to put your own money, risk everything, and then you only get paid after like 15 days. That's called net 15 after you deliver the leads. But some industries in the legal verticals also pay you upfront, which is amazing, right? And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Telegram as well as Skool, so I can basically send you in-depth voice messages, because obviously I'm at a place where I don't have millions of followers. That's gonna come later, so I can still talk to you. You have a lovely, lovely day.